The woman let her hair down and then put it in the water. As a result, her hair turned completely white. But what she didn't expect was that the current emperor saw her. The woman was so scared that she ran away quickly. In the past, white hair was a symbol of nobility, but after the ruler changed, it was seen as a sign of betraying the country. So the previous emperor had killed everyone with white hair. That's why when the woman was little, her mother dyed her hair black. Just then, soldiers burst in. So the mother held the woman and ran for her life. After hiding the woman safely, the mother rushed out to distract the soldiers. The next morning, the woman came out to look for her mother, only to find that she had been killed. Later, the woman was sold to a wealthy family. There, she was always hungry and had to clean the entire mansion every day. One night, she saw a golden arrow stuck in the beam of the house. The next day, all the officials from the capital came to find her and knelt before her. It turned out that the golden arrow was used by the emperor to choose his concubines. From that moment on, the woman entered the palace, and she had special privileges. She could not only perform magic but also summon ghosts or find lost items. She didn't have to share the emperor's bed. Now that the emperor had seen her white hair, the woman thought she would surely be killed. But the emperor just came over to return some items and kindly reminded her to dry herself off. Before leaving, the emperor said that he hadn't seen anything that night. The next day, the young emperor came to ask her for a favor. He wanted to find the owner of this earring, but the woman refused. The emperor didn't get angry. Instead, he took her hand to make sure she was human. Just then, a mysterious symbol appeared on the woman's arm. The woman angrily ordered them to leave at once. She took out a lotus flower, chanted a spell, and blew on the flower, instantly sending the emperor out the door. But the emperor didn't want to give up. He brought the woman's favorite food and came to visit again. And from the emperor's story, it seemed that there was a ghost on the earring. The emperor wanted to know the ghost's identity. So the woman took off the lotus flower and performed magic. The ghost did appear. The woman guessed that the ghost was probably a concubine of the previous emperor who had hanged herself. The emperor felt sorry for the ghost and asked the woman to save her. The woman finally accepted the mission. She disguised herself as a maid and learned that the hanged concubine had a maid who was still alive. But just as the woman was about to find a maid, she was stopped by the enemy. The woman had no choice but to use magic to create a peony flower and then blow it apart to create a strong storm. Just then, a man suddenly appeared to help, and the guards also came in time. However, the maid couldn't speak anymore. When the woman took out the earring, the maid became very excited. So the woman took her back to her room, and when the emperor heard the news, he came over in the middle of the night. The maid said that the concubine wasn't hanged but murdered. After learning the truth, the woman realized that the owner of the earring must be the dead concubine. The maid said that the concubine had treasured the earring in her lifetime, and the other earring was in the hands of her fiancé back in her hometown. Just then, the emperor asked the maid what the concubine's fiancé's name was. The next day, they found the concubine's fiancé together. The man had sneaked into the palace to find out the truth about the concubine's death, but he accidentally lost the earring. The woman took out the earring and told the man everything. The man asked the woman to let him see the concubine, so the woman used magic to bring the concubine back. Seeing the concubine's current state, the man was very heartbroken. Just then, the emperor gave the other earring to the woman. It turned out that the emperor had met the concubine at his mother's funeral when he was 10. She had given him the earring to comfort him as he was crying. The man took the 2 earrings. The ghost of the concubine shone brightly and then returned to her original appearance. She spoke her last words and then disappeared. She had no regrets because she had seen her fiancé.